Su-122 is a vehicle that has benefited immensely from the overpressure mechanic, to the point where the vehicle is now borderline overpowered in a lot of people's eyes. The HE can now wallop a Panzer IV with the same force an angry dad would belt his child, and enough ammo to outlast Rommel's supply chains in Africa. The Su-122 is now strong enough to make any rival Panzer player shit his pants on sight, and still throw a hissy fit after his panic shot missed by a distance rivaled only by the miscalculation by France that Germany would attack through the Maginot. Before overpressure, the Su-122 was pretty much relegated to battering ram duties. Being larger and heavier than most of what it came across, it didn't have the firepower, but it sure had the mass. So far it looks as if the vehicle has no downsides, and while this may be true in a solo aspect, there's always more to be wary of. Especially when it comes to teammates.
Got that job here, man. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here, you Whoa!
I can't feel my neck, man.
Yo! Oh! Armored column. Entire German armored column. Mistakes were definitely made. Mistakes were horrendously made. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Should we run?
There is no running.
Fighting now.
The Su-122 is in a fantastic place right now thanks to its buff. It has the holy trinity of tank aspects all maxed out, that being arms, armour and speed. And it's a good thing too, because you won't be relying on your teammates to do any of the heavy lifting for you, as per usual. Because unfortunately for me, every single person in this game, every teammate I've ever had the misfortune of being placed in a match with, they all have one thing in common. They all fucking suck.
Oh fuck me, that's a fucking 4F2!
Luckily for the Su, thanks to that holy trinity I mentioned earlier, you're in the peculiar spot of being able to pick your engagements almost at will. You can engage from any distance provided you're good enough, and you have the armour and mobility to get around or take on players head on if the occasion calls for it. This means that you can dish out beatings better than Chris Brown after a few too many Stellars, and get around the map faster than a doped up Olympic sprinter. However, the vehicle isn't invincible, and without a good amount of teamwork and coordination, your casemate profile on long reload will more than likely lead to a downfall worse than Berlin in 1945.
I can't angle this big, there's not enough armor to angle. He's got my gunner, but he's going to reload. You need to kill him now.
Trying.
So far we've talked a lot about how the Su-122 fights, but to know how to best use it, we need to know what it's made of. So from my accurate and faithful statistic card, we can see that the vehicle is best utilised in a full frontal assault role, rushing down lone enemies and those that think they're safe from the wrath of a 122mm vodka crate landing within their postcode. The vehicle can also excel at a long-range fire support role if you're in an up tier and don't feel like brawling. So what can we expect from the Su and the other shell-flinging medium and heavyweights in the near future? Well, we can't be too sure. Gaijin's only consistency is how inconsistent they are, but for now it seems that any wagon that can cause the same amount of damage to an enemy as flinging the average American at it will be in a much more competitive spot from here on in. To summarise the points I've made already, playing this vehicle will grant you the power of the Nuremberg trials, meaning you're the judge, jury and executioner of any vehicle you come up against. The speed and mobility of the vehicle are enough to give the likes of Jeremy Clarkson a hard-on, and the firepower is great enough to overpower even main battle tanks if you're enough of a masochist to take it there.